Okay, let's quickly test our upload process here to see if everything is working good. Of course, if we run into any problems, we're going to address them. So let's go to Postman, and as a reminder, the videos here, we don't have any video record. I cleared them out, and we have a lecture, which I can actually just set the type here to null. It doesn't matter. And let's quickly go and upload the video again for that lecture. Now, because we are running this in a job queue, I'm going to have to set or run my queue here. So I have a tab here for queues, and let's just go to skill meter, and I'm going to run PHP artisan queue listen with a timeout of 0. So I don't want the job to time out. I just want it to run. Later on, we can configure the timeout in the job itself. But for now, let's just do it in the terminal. Again, all these options that we have in the job class here, you can actually pass them as arguments when you run the job. So let's say we are setting off the timeout. Let's just click on run. And we don't have any jobs yet, which is okay. So let's go and upload the video and see that the jobs get kicked off, and whatever errors we get, we fix them. So upload the video. That is done. And if we go to the terminal, we should see the job. It started running and it failed. Okay. And that's all right. We have to go and figure out why it failed. One of the ways to do this is just to go to the log files. And let's quickly see why it failed here. Let's see. So it did succeed to do the processing, but it tried to save them to DigitalOcean and failed at the point where it's trying to check to see if this part of the file exists. So that is a problem. So let's see down here. So this doesn't look right. So it's trying to make a call to an endpoint that doesn't exist. And generally the endpoint for DigitalOcean is the name of the bucket plus the domain that it uses, in this case the region, and then digitaloceanspaces.com. But we have the bucket appearing twice there, which means I did make an error somewhere, maybe in my .m file. Let's go back here. So I'm passing the endpoint here, including the bucket, and so it's appending that bucket again to the endpoint, and we don't need to do it. So all we need for the endpoint here, the DigitalOcean endpoint, is the region and then digitaloceanspaces.com, not the full thing including the bucket again, because that bucket name will get appended to it later on. So that's what we need to put in there. Okay, so with this, let's try and run this again, and fingers crossed that will work. So if we go here, we can go to the database and re-queue that job. So let's go back to the database, and that job should be under the failed jobs table. And what we need is the UUID for the job. So I'll copy that UUID, and over in the terminal, we can do PHP artisan queue retry, and we provide the ID for that job. So that job should be pushed back to, it should have been pushed back to the jobs table and no longer to the failed jobs table. So yeah, so the job is back to the jobs table, and we can actually rerun our queue. So PHP artisan queue work, and I'm going to say timeout equals 0. Okay, and fingers crossed, let's do that and see it's running. The job failed again, and let's see why that is. We're passing an advanced media, but it must be of type advanced media, and it got video media. Yeah, so I do understand what's going on. All right, so the mistake that we have here is that we opened the video at the top here to get the duration. And after we did that, we were using the same video object to try and load it to the database, okay? And this would not work, because at this point, it gets converted to a video object and it's already been changed by trying to get the duration. So it's already been, so it's no longer an advanced media object, but a video object. And this function or this call here wants to get an advanced media object, which means we have to open the video again and not just pass the video object that was opened before. So let's go back here and simply replace video with the entire call to open that video all over again. And that should fix this error that we're seeing about passing a video media instead of advanced media. So let's look at what's going on, and so let's try and run this again. Again, the problem is that we cannot use the same video that was used to get the duration in processing. We have to reopen that video and run the process. So let's go back to the terminal and let's run our queue worker. So if we go back to the database, to be sure we have a job. So let's go here, and yeah, we do have the job here. So here I'm just going to do PHP artisan queue work, and I'm going to say timeout equals 0, and let's run that now and see if it works. Enter, and it hasn't failed, so it seems to be working, and we seem to be getting the progress on the percentage here, which looks good. Let's go to the database and refresh it, and yeah, we do see that the progress, if you look at the processing percent, that's counting up, which tells me that the video is being processed. And let's see if it will process to the, it's at 53%, 56. So while this is happening, we can, that event, the processing event, it's being logged in here in the on progress callback. And so here later on, we will be sending or broadcasting image messages to the front end to tell them that, or to tell the user that the video is being processed. So it's at 89%, and that's looking all right. And let's see, it's at 100%. So I expect that video to be completely processed, and the job should say finished or done very soon, unless it fails during the DigitalOcean, but it's already got talking to DigitalOcean at this point, so I think it should be good. And I think it's just doing cleanup, and the job is done. So it's successfully processing the video. And if we go back here, the percentage is 0, is 100. The duration in seconds is 596. And let's go to the lecture. The lecture is set to video type, and the duration is 9 minutes and 9.933 minutes, and that looks good. So let's look at what the video, which video we uploaded and the duration that we had from our file system. So it was this video, and it should be 9 minutes and change. Yeah, 9 minutes and 56 seconds. So that is correct with what we have in the database. More importantly, let's make sure that the video got saved in DigitalOcean. So if you go back to our DigitalOcean bucket and refresh, we should, yeah, we do see the video. It's recorded under 11, which is the ID of the video, I presume. So if you go to video, the ID here is 11. So yeah, that's correct. And in the video, we should see all the parts for that video, and that's exactly what we need. So this, you see, there's lots of files that are put together to create this single video, and the whole point is that the video is broken down into tiny chunks, and that is the point of HTTP live streaming. And if we look for one of the files, the M3U8 file, and let's just try and open that file and see how it looks, what it looks like. So let's go here, copy the endpoint, and let's see if we can download that file and open it in, I'll just open this in Sublime Text, and let's see what it looks like. So you see that the file contains the references to the different parts that we have saved in here. So if you go back to DigitalOcean, you see that it's made up of all these .ts files. So this is not TypeScript. This is part of the HLS encoding. So we see that it's referencing the different parts. So when the files are being served, when the videos are being played in the front end, what will happen is this file will be loaded, and based on this metadata, the browser will know when to fetch each of these parts from the server. And if you look here, we have an encryption method because we did say that it should have a rotating encryption, a rotating keys encryption. So it's encrypted to AES 128, which is pretty good. And we have the encryption file here. So for this part to play in the browser, it has to go along with the encryption file. So when we start playing the videos in the front end, we'll be fetching the encryption key and then fetching the video once we get the key for it, okay? So if we go back to DigitalOcean Spaces, we should see that outside of this folder in the secrets, we should see the encryption keys for each of the parts of the video. We can also check to see that the video in the temporary directory was deleted after the process. So the temp directory is now empty, so we do not have any temporary videos hanging around, okay? So we are going to be uploading quite a few videos just to test things around during the course, especially when we start working in the front end, but this is a really good start. And in the next video, we will try to set up real-time notification so that we can broadcast the progress to the front end when the video is being processed. So that will come up in the next lessons.